Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 again. Now, at this point, I'm looking at my team and I'm just saying, okay, worst case scenarios. So I'm talking about the Lakers, not necessarily worst case scenarios. Let me rephrase that. What are our holes? Do we have any holes in our roster? Are there areas that of weakness that we may have trouble with? So if I'm looking at our roster, I really don't see too many issues. But the thing that makes me wonder is our small forward shooting guard position defensively in terms of speed and being able to get back on defense, that kind of thing. Obviously, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee are going to erase a lot of mistakes. But there are going to be times, I think, where they're going to be little guys like De'Aaron Fox, Jamal Murray, players like that who are going to really, really get off on us. And the reason why I'm worried about that is because Rondo's not going to be able to guard those people. And even though a lot of the shots that are in the paint are going to be contested really, really well by Anthony Davis, it's going to be very difficult to score against that dude. Guys who have perimeter shooting ability and or guys who are really, really speedy and really, really strong are going to be able to slash past guys like, Avery Bradley and people like KCP who are really, really good. KCP's not really a part of this conversation for me because he really does have really good defensive feet. He can move laterally, things like that. But Dudley at this stage in his career, he's not that fast, man. If he's going up against a speedy small forward or a speedy shooting guard, he's getting smoked. Avery Bradley, same thing. At this stage in his career, even though he's a fantastic defender, I don't think he's going to have a whole lot of success against really speedy, young shooting guard players. A guy like Bradley Beal should go for 50 against us. That's basically what I'm saying. So obviously, again, Anthony Davis affects that a great deal because those guys are not going to have a whole lot of, lanes to drive at us. And it's going to be about whether or not they can get around all of this contested length that we have, which is going to be difficult. But if we have any issues, it's going to be in our athleticism and around our 3 and 4 spot. 2 and 3 spot, excuse me. That's really where it is. So we're a little old there, especially off the bench. So that's what it is. Danny Green is going to have to guard some players that are a lot better than him a lot of the time. That's going to be the reality of it. So is KCP. And they're going to be tasked with this. So is Quinn Cook. Even though I'm pretty high on him, it's going to be on those guys to stay in front of the people like Paul George and some of these other players, James Harden. Like that's going to be tough, man. So if the Lakers have any real issues, in my opinion, it's just going to be about whether or not we can have enough athleticism, I guess is the way to best describe that. Do we have enough athleticism at the 2-3 spot? Do we have enough there? Because a lot of those guys are either not super athletic or a little long in the tooth or something of that nature. So that's what I guess could be the hole in our roster if you really want to look at it as that. Another aspect of our team that I think is a curiosity of mine is just whether or not we're going to have enough at the 4 spot when Anthony Davis sits down. And what I mean by enough, obviously LeBron James is going to play that, but LeBron James is not going to play a lot of games as well. I can see that coming. He may want to try to play 82, but I doubt it. It's more about staying healthy. So we move him out of the way. Let's say he's going to play his normal position, small forward this year. Anthony Davis is going to play the 4. They're going to try to keep it that way, keep consistency going, I would imagine. Our 4 spot, are we going to play Talon? Is he going to get a lot of minutes there? Are we going to try to play, maybe someone out of position? Maybe we give Kyle Kuzma. Obviously, we like Kyle Kuzma a lot. I really like him at the 4 spot, at the stretch 4, I guess. I can kind of remedy my thought by saying I like him a lot there. But when it comes time for him to guard guys at the 4 spot, I'd rather him play the 3. I'd rather him not be tasked with some of those tough defensive matchups, even though I'm hearing that he's getting better at that, and I know he's getting stronger, all of that stuff. So I'm optimistic that he's improving defensively. But when it comes down to it, I don't really want him banging with some of these players. I want somebody else to deal with Marvin Bagley. I want somebody else to deal with some of those guys. And Anthony Davis has already made it clear he doesn't want to bang with people by saying he doesn't want to play the center position. So that's something that I'm taking a look at. I'm thinking that's going to be on guys like Dwight Howard to play out of position a little bit sometimes. Guys like Jared Dudley play out of position a little bit, play a little four for us. Even JaVale McGee might be slipping to the four every once in a while, though I don't know why that would happen. But just to give us a different look here and there in different types of lineups, they can experiment with different things is what I'm saying. So if I'm curious about anything, it's the backup four spot, how we're going to use it. You know, how are we going to keep up with some of these young power forwards in this league that are going to give us some trouble. There's several out there. Guys like Jaren Jackson. It's going to be on Anthony Davis and definitely on JaVale and, of course, Dwight Howard to really give those guys hell, you know, because they're coming. And they're young. That's the thing. We are not as young as some of the teams that we're going to be facing out there. Even though we have a young player as our centerpiece and a superstar, some of the surrounding pieces outside of Quinn Cook, KCP, and some of these guys are a little old. So I can see us not really wanting to get into a foot race with some of these speedy teams. So if we have any other issues outside of what I've already said, it's just going to be trying to keep up with youth. And so, yeah, those are my concerns. Shooting, we could use a little more shooting, but I like the shooting that we have. I don't consider that a concern right now unless guys start getting hurt. And, of course, I've already said this in the past, but I think LeBron James is going to have to play some point guard because I don't know what Rondo can give us at this point. I'd imagine he's in shape, but he always gets hurt. Even when he was in his prime, you can count on him getting hurt. So now it's just I really would like the Lakers to have another point guard on this roster that we like. I see Caruso's going strong in the gym. He's another player that can play the two guard. I'd imagine he's going to get some playing time at the two, but he's definitely a one as well. So it's going to be on him to kind of give us some of that flavor that we need as our backup point guard to go along with Quinn Cook. And I don't know how they're going to incorporate Troy Daniels onto the roster. I don't think he's going to be the guy that gets any playing time, to be honest. I don't think Talon's going to get a lot of playing time, although his metrics show that he's going to be the type of player that we should probably be playing a lot. I'd imagine with so many vets on this team, it's going to be hard for Talon to get on the floor. But Troy Daniels is a shooter, and I don't know if he has many other dynamics to his game. So if I'm to just assume he's settled in as a role player, he's probably going to be the guy that doesn't really play as much as some of the players, as everybody else, basically. So it's going to be interesting to see if we incorporate him onto the roster, if he's the guy in the suit sitting down most of the year. So, but there will be opportunities. 82-game season. It's going to be a lot of load management for LeBron. So there will be opportunities for guys as the season progresses to get on the floor. And eventually, in terms of talent, I think we'll end up playing him some. Probably during the second half of the season, we'll see a lot of him. Because really what it comes down to is he's such a fantastic defender. Because of his extraordinary metrics with his length, he really can guard guys that you would think, just like I said about Brandon Ingram, that he's, guys that you think he wouldn't be able to affect, he's going to affect them. And maybe even in a real way. When you talk about defensive players as he develops, he may turn out to be one of them guys for us that we were like, oh my God, we're so glad we picked him up in the back of the draft. Because what I've seen from him is he stays with guys. Laterally, he can move his legs. He moves. He's a heavy guy. But as he gets in better shape, he starts to really consider taking care of his body. He's still very young. He's a rookie. Boy, is his metrics going to come into play for us as we start to get closer and closer to playoff time if we develop him properly throughout the season, keep him healthy. Because it's just no way around it. He may be one of our best on-ball defenders already as just a pup coming from the back of the draft. So keep in mind that Talon dude. He is not somebody to play with. And I do think as the Lakers season progresses, we will see him become a part of our rotation. So, but not to start the season, I don't think. I really don't. But back to Troy Daniels, I just don't know if he'll be able to get off the bench. But if he does, he can certainly knock down some shots and stretch a 10-point lead to a 15, 20-point lead. He can help be a part of that. So I don't worry as much about shooting because of a player like that on the very back of our bench. Alex Caruso, he can shoot too, and I've seen Caruso do some really good things in the G League, man. That's the thing about Caruso. When he's playing against lesser talent, he has a Kobe level that he likes to turn on every blue moon. Like you see him at his best, and he'll put up something that you don't think he should be able to put up. Like in terms of his statistics, he goes really, really crazy. So, in knowing that he has that type of level in him, even though I've seen him do it against much lesser talent, knowing that he can do it gives me hope that he can overachieve in his role with our team. Because we've already seen him do some good things in a Laker uniform, but never anything extraordinary like what I've seen him do with the G League squad. So who knows? If he can tap into his confidence, there's a level that we haven't seen in Alex Caruso. So I'm excited about his future as a role player on our squad. So yeah, man, we got some good stuff. I don't know, again, who's going to be the guy that we want to throw at the Bradley Beals, though. Who's going to guard those guys? Who's going to take on the Dame Lillard matchup? That's why I was so upset at Kawhi Leonard, just personally, because he made it so that even though we don't have our depth, and I do love having depth, if we sign him, we don't have it. But what he made it was that so that LeBron doesn't have to take on these defensive matchups. That's what he gave us. He gave us someone to throw at everyone. Now we got to figure out how we're going to guard some of these dudes, and that's going to be the thing. Thank you, Anthony Davis, for being the defensive player that you are, because we're going to need that. Because guys are going to get past our guards, and they're going to get to the rim where you will meet them and send the shot the other way. So that's what we'll need all year long from him, Dwight, and JaVale, and LeBron to a certain degree, and Kuzma even, if he can send some shots the other way, that would help us a lot as well. So, and Danny Green, let's not forget about him as a shot blocker as well. So we have some guys who can contest you, but I think we'll have some blow-bys, unfortunately. So yeah, hopefully we can remedy that somehow. And I think I've talked enough. Yeah, about 12 minutes. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. Thank you guys for watching, or listening, I should say. And I'm BDF44, and I'm out. Peace.